What's up, guys? Welcome to the, I can't even talk right now. What's up, guys? Welcome to part 2 of Sonic Generations Revisited. Today I'm going to be playing through the Dreamcast era of, well, Sonic Generations. I'm sorry it took so long to get to commentating this video. There were just a bunch of other side projects I ended up doing. And, this one just kinda slipped my mind for a while, so enough about that. We're playing through Speed Highway, one of the later levels in Sonic Adventure. I think this might have been stage 6 for Sonic in Sonic Adventure, if I'm not mistaken. I think this was level 6. But yeah, this is Speed Highway. This is probably my favorite level in Sonic Adventure, now that I think about it, because it's got that perfect balance of, like, good speed and good platforming. This level carries that over mostly well. I'm kind of fumbling the bag with Classic Sonic here, but that's just because I've been meaning to get to this. I talked about this a little bit in part 1, and I'll talk about it again here. I don't really like how Classic Sonic controls in this game. Specifically his air controls. I think he's way too stiff in the air. And unfortunately, Summer Game Fest just happened, and they have shown off gameplay of the Sonic Generations portion of this game. And Classic Sonic looks like he controls exactly the same, plus having a drop dash, which does look like it controls really nicely, but I wish they made Classic Sonic control like how he does in, like, Superstars and, you know, Mania and games like that. Like, I get it, you know, a lot of people don't want the physics to change for him, but, like, I don't know, I feel like it's good, but it could be better, you know? Like, you feel me? But yeah, Classic Sonic Speed Highway, really not much to say on it. It's a pretty simplistic level, all things considered. But I still do enjoy that level. That is one of the better classic levels in this game. I think all of the classic levels in this game are around the same quality, except for the final one, Planet Wisp. We'll get to that one later, but I hate that level. Just so you guys know, I hate that level. Same for Modern Sonic's Planet Wisp. That one isn't good either. But enough complaining, we're getting straight into Speed Highway Act 2, which is arguably the best level in the game. And that's a little tutorial on how to do Sonic's Lightspeed Dash, which I should probably talk about, because this is another change they made from Sonic Unleashed. The Lightspeed Dash, you can no longer do it on whatever trail of rings you want to anymore. Now for the Lightspeed Dash, it's only for specific lines of rings. Like, if you see a line of rings with a white glow around them, you can Lightspeed Dash those, but aside from that, you can't do whatever trail you want. Like that right there, I could Lightspeed Dash those rings because they were glowing white. And that ended up getting me a red star ring, which I don't think I've talked about yet in any of these Let's Plays, actually. Let's talk about the red star rings for a bit. So, red star rings were introduced in Sonic Colors, and before I go on about that, this section is so cool. This is like, this is supposed to be the going down section of the original Speed Highway. And yeah, it's awesome. I don't know if I got that red ring there. I think I did. Cause yeah, in this run I did go for red rings. I didn't go out of my way to get all of them, but I did go for most of them. There are 2 red rings that are on completely different paths, so you do have to play this level at least twice to get them all. Which I didn't do for this Let's Play. I might go back and record myself getting the red rings I missed, but I think I'm gonna do that off camera. So, fun fact about that rocket there, I'll show that off in an extra video, but that rocket back there, you can actually homing attack it to grab onto it again to take yourself to a faster pathway. I really like that. So you can spend like half of the level just flying around on a helicopter or on a rocket, because at the very beginning of the level, I think it's a little bit slower, but you can actually grab the helicopter at the beginning of the level and it'll fly you up to the higher path. But I do think it's slightly slower than just taking the rail. But see, that red ring I missed, that's the one I was talking about, where you have to take another path to get it.
Thanks for saving me, Sonic. It was scary in the dark, but I tried to be brave.
So yeah, that is Cream the Rabbit from Sonic Advance 2. Interestingly enough, you might be like, well, there's no Sonic Advance level here. What is she doing in Sonic Adventure? That's actually a reference to Sonic Adventure DX. Also, I think I know that song. Rolling around at the speed of sound. Got places to go, gotta follow my rainbow. Can't stick around, have to keep moving on. Cause what lies ahead, only one way to find out. So yeah, I think we all know what this level is going to be. Oh, also, I took this chance to show off Sonic's idle animation. His idle animation actually cycles through like a bunch of references to all the classic Sonic games. He has animations from Sonic 1, Sonic 2, I think he might even have one from Sonic 3. And he has one from Sonic 3D Blast even, which is a really deep cut, because I did not think they would reference that game in any way, shape, or form, outside of like music tracks maybe. But yes, this is City Escape from Sonic Adventure 2. Oh boy, I'm finally talking about this game on the channel. Sonic Adventure 2, I have very mixed feelings on that game. I think it's a good game. I don't hate Sonic Adventure 2, but I think it's very overrated. Like, hey, if Sonic Adventure 2 is your favorite Sonic game, keep loving Sonic Adventure 2. Don't let me change your mind on it. But me personally, I don't know. I just would rather play a lot of other Sonic games over it, like Sonic Adventure 1, you know, this game, Sonic Frontiers, like, even Colors I think I like more than Adventure 2, but we're not gonna, that's for another video, that's for a review. Let's focus on Generations for now, because that is the game I'm playing after all. And look at that! If you've played Sonic Frontiers, speaking of that game, you might recognize that skateboard that classic Sonic is riding right now. That is actually, the skateboard he rides in Sonic Frontiers in 4-1 and 4-9. It looks like that not snowboard, I'm sorry, I keep getting them mixed up. I think that skateboard's design is actually based on the snowboard from Sonic Advance. Like, it's got the red, the two white stripes and everything. I think it's based on the snowboard in the Sonic Advance trilogy. Boom! I love this level. Also, that Power Sneakers version of classic Escape from the City, the one that's like, I love that. That is just so cool sounding. Like, the classic version of City Escape, as a level, I think is pretty mid. But the song, I think the song does a lot of heavy lifting for that level. Because I think the level is pretty mid, to be honest. Like, you know, like oh, hang on. So, you got a skill. Skills have different effects, like damage, protection, yada yada yada. Basically, you get all 5 red rings in one particular act, and you get an extra skill. And what are skills, you might be asking? Skills are like little power-ups that you can equip to Sonic. They're not mandatory to beat the game or anything. The skills can be like, you know, they can either be like extra abilities for Sonic, or they can be like passive effects, like, you know, terrain doesn't affect your speed, or like you just go faster overall. Like, not all of them are active effects. Like, some skills are just passive effects that, you know, they help you out in more subtle ways. But there are other abilities, like, not to get ahead of myself, but when you beat the game, you actually unlock 2 really cool, like active abilities you can use. Also, I think you're not supposed to run on whatever I was just running on there. I think that was a glitch, but, you know, basically the active abilities, some of them you have to, like, complete certain missions to unlock. I didn't get many of those. I will be going back and, like, doing those missions in an extra video. But for the most part, like, skills are, like, passive effects that, like, you know, give you different buffs and stuff. And they added a 2D section to City Escape. I think out of all the levels they added a 2D section to, this is the one that I don't really like at all, to be honest, because it just feels wrong having 2D in City Escape, you know? Like, any other level in this game, I'm like, okay, I mean, it doesn't really matter that much, but in this level, it just feels wrong. Also, rare case of the slide kick being useful. But look at that, it's the gun truck. Oh my god, it has buzzsaws now. I don't remember that in Sonic Adventure 2. But yeah, they basically adapted the gun truck chase from Sonic Adventure 2, but they made it even more thrilling this time. Because now instead of just, you know, running away from the truck, nah, it ain't that easy this time. You actually have to dodge these giant buzzsaws. It is as simple as just quick-stepping out of the way. The easiest way to avoid the buzzsaws, they'll, like, kind of sparkle. But it has rockets too? Bro! But no, the easiest way to tell which buzzsaw, dang. Okay, before I go on about that, can I just say that guy, whoever was driving the gun truck, he's dead. He's not coming back. He's dead. Like, that was just a giant explosion. Like, I would hope that that was like a robot or something driving that truck, because if that was an actual person, yeah, no, they're cooked. They're dead. Like, they're washed. Finito. Gone. But yeah, they made the gun truck chase even better.
Thanks, Big Blue. That's the first time I've ever been stolen.
So, fun fact about that, Big Blue, like Rouge calling Sonic Big Blue, that's actually a reference to Sonic Chronicles. I don't think that game is canon. And no, you can point at that, everything is canon, tweet all you want. I don't care, I don't think that game is canon. There's just no way it can be canon. But Rouge calling Sonic Big Blue is actually a reference to Sonic Chronicles, this RPG that came out for Sonic on the Nintendo DS. I played it, and I had a lot of fun with it. That game quite literally goes hard on mutes, because the music and just overall sound design of that game was ass. If I'm being as honest as possible, the sound design in that game was ass. It did not sound good at all. The music was awful, except for the battle themes. The battle themes were cool, and you know, the overall, like, even the sound effects, they were like, you know, these stock cartoon sound effects. Also, oh my god, he's drowning! No! Okay, he's safe. in case you haven't noticed, I should probably talk about the level now. We are in Seaside Hill from Sonic Heroes. Interestingly enough, though, classic Sonic's version of this level seems to be based more on Ocean Palace, the second act of Seaside Hill. Also, that was a really clean spin dash jump back there. I don't know if you saw that, but that was clean. But the level design here reminds me a lot of Labyrinth Zone from Sonic 1. Like, it's like they were trying to combine Seaside Hill with Labyrinth Zone from Sonic 1, which might actually be a bit of a nod to the fact that Labyrinth Zone was originally meant to be the second level in Sonic 1, like right after Green Hill. So, of course, having the Green Hill adjacent level have like Labyrinth Zone type level design is actually a pretty cool callback if that's what they were going for. But yeah, overall, I think I do like classic Sonic's levels despite the criticisms I have. I just think that, you know, they're not that fun to speed run, if I'm being honest. Like, they're fun to play casually, but don't try to speed run these levels because you're going to be resetting a lot. And yes, I know that's part of what speedrunning entails. You're going to be restarting a whole bunch of times. Also, in case you're wondering what the hell I was doing there, I was just checking for red rings. You see, for classic Sonic, I'm trying to get all the red rings. Like, I'm actually exploring a little bit and trying to get red rings with classic Sonic. With modern Sonic, I'm trying to speed through the levels while collecting as many red rings as I can along the way. But if I can't get them all, you know, it's no big deal, because I know where most of the red rings are in this game. You know, it's just a matter of actually coming across them, like, and still maintaining a somewhat fun to watch path. That's the hard part. So I do hope you guys are enjoying the gameplay. Like, I hope it's at least fun to watch. But I do know, like, there's only so much, like, you can do with this game when it's, like, you know, like, exploring and trying to speedrun at the same time. Like, something has to give. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I managed to get all 5 red rings in that level too. And I don't know what was going on with me in this video, but I don't know why I just tried to get every red ring in every level. Like, despite what I just said, it's just too satisfying, you know? So, on to the next ability that they're introducing here, Sonic's Wall Jump. This was introduced as early as Knuckles Chaotix, technically, with Mighty. But the first time Sonic got a wall jump was in Sonic Unleashed, I think. I think that was literally the first game to give him a wall jump. But basically how it works in this game, this is another change they made from Sonic Unleashed. You can only wall jump on certain patterned walls. Like, you can't wall jump on whatever wall you want. Like, those walls right there with that black and red, like, texture on them, you can only wall jump on those walls. There is one other exception coming up later in the level, which I will point out when we get to, but for the most part, don't expect to just jump off of any wall you want to unless you have mods turned on. That's another thing I think I should probably talk about with this game is the modding scene. Because this game has a ton of mods. It is crazy. Like, people have been turning this game into, like, Sonic Unleashed, Sonic 06 even. People have been porting Mario from Super Mario 64 into this game. And just doing a whole bunch of crazy stuff with mods. So, hey, anyone that, you know, is smart enough to mod this game, hey, shoutouts to you. Like, keep doing your thing, and because you're awesome. Keep doing your thing. So, One thing I do want to point out about this level that I really like, you might have noticed when I got to the Ocean Palace version, I meant section of this level, because yeah, this level does seamlessly transition from Seaside Hill to Ocean Palace. They're both just called Seaside Hill, like they're both one level under one name, Seaside Hill, because Ocean Palace is just an extension of Seaside Hill, so it makes sense. This is the exception of the wall jump thing I was talking about. You can wall jump off of those pillars right there. I don't think you can wall jump off of any others, but I know you can wall jump off of those for some reason, so that's like the one exception of the whole wall jumping rule. That red ring right there sucks to get, by the way. That is kind of one criticism I have, not just of this game, but like of any Sonic game that has red rings or any other collectible like it. It sucks when there's a red ring that you only have one shot at getting, and if you miss it, you have to restart the whole level to get it. I hate when they do that. But yeah, that was Seaside Hill. Pretty great level, honestly. Like, I like how they adapted the level design from Sonic Heroes. Like from both Seaside Hill and Ocean Palace, and again, they just merged it into one level and just modernized it a little bit, you know?
So I think we've pieced together more of what's happening, and it's not good. Whoa! When that thing goes through time, it tears space apart, leaving the areas empty and dead, and sticking them in this weird white limbo. When the Sonics accelerate through time, they fix space, returning color and life.
And I guess we have to run like there's no tomorrow, or there won't be a tomorrow.
Nice. Oh, SBO, I forgot you were in this game. I forgot SBO was in this game up until right now.
To trap a ninja. Be on your guard, Sonic.
This is an interesting thing. I wonder why they capitalized ninja in the captions there. It's a weirdly specific thing to capitalize, but okay. Challenge Act gates have appeared. But yeah, I am going to go back and like... Oh yeah, so right here, you might have been confused by this in the no commentary version, but I just went back and got the red rings I missed. Because yeah, I don't know why, for some reason, when I was recording this part, I was just obsessed with trying to get all the red rings. So yeah, there you go, I got them. I barely missed both of those red rings the first time around, so there you go, I went back and got them. So anyways, this is one of the more fun challenge acts in this game. It's a more simplistic one, but I do still enjoy this one. Basically, the objective here is to just drift. Like, that's most of what you're doing here. Like, you don't have to technically drift to get through this. Like, you can just, I guess, turn normally, but they really want you to drift here. In fact, I'm not sure, but I think this level design might be specifically made for you to, like, drift through. Because I don't know, like, I don't know what this would be in the main level. Like, I don't remember seeing this level design in the actual, like, you know, like, action stage. I think that might have been, like, level design specifically made for this mission. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that might have been what that was. And look at that, I had to fight that spring. I was like, no, I'm getting that key. So yeah, I guess I should address the elephant in the room, Sonic X Shadow Generations. You might have saw Shadow on the screen just now. No, you didn't, you're hallucinating. That was just a, what is a facet? I can't even think of the saying. That was just a, I can't think of it. I can't think of the saying. That was just a, You imagined it. That wasn't Shadow, you just imagined that. You were hallucinating. Get your eyes checked. But no, anyways, all jokes aside, Sonic X Shadow Generations, while I'm in White Space here, they're actually making a brand new version of White Space for Shadow, and it's gonna be 3D, and it's gonna be it's gonna be inspired by the open zone of Sonic Frontiers, which I find really cool. But enough about that. So this is another one of the friend missions that I really like. Basically you're going through this level. It's like a harder version of the opening section of City Escape. Like, you go pretty much up until the 2D section. But there's two caveats to it. One, of course, the level design is a lot harder here, as you're probably noticing by the, addition of, like, bombs everywhere and stuff. And two, you might be noticing, like, okay, what the heck, why is, like, destroying enemies isn't filling your boost meter, destroying cars isn't filling your boost meter, doing tricks isn't even filling your boost meter, what gives? So every time you press the Y button, one of Cream's Chow will give you a ring, which fills up half of your boost meter, and those are the only rings you can get, by the way. And that's also the only way you can get more boost energy. So I have to really time, like, when I want to get those rings. Like, you might notice, like, I'm being very strategic with my boost here, because I don't want to overuse it and go through all of the boost energy I can possibly get here. Because the boost is such a rare, like, it's, I'm trying to think of the word. It's rare here, And you might have noticed, I went below the S rank time. Well, I went above the S rank time, and I was about to get an A rank, but Cream gave me a 5-second timer that took off 5 seconds from the timer and put me below the S rank time again. So that was clutch. I actually popped off so hard when I actually did that. Like, I wish I recorded that. But I actually popped off kind of hard when that happened. I was like, oh, no way! You can actually do some really cool spin dash jump tech in White Space here. So yeah, this is the third and final challenge act that I'm going to be doing in this video, Trick Island. This and another challenge act in Seaside Hill, Terror from the Deep. These are both two of my favorite challenge acts in the entire game, because they're just so fun to try and run through, Like, this one is just fun to play. Like, the level design here is just awesome. And then, Terror from the Deep, that one is really fun to speedrun. The other mission, okay, this mission, I should explain this one first. As you can see in the top right corner, you have to do 35 tricks and reach the goal in 1 minute and 40 seconds in order to get an S rank. You have to do at least 35 tricks to even finish this mission. Like, don't think that, okay, well, like 35 tricks and I get the S rank, right? No, if you do 34 tricks or less, you can't even, like, finish this. You hit the goal ring and you still fail. So just keep that in mind for if you're playing this. Like, yeah, the 35 tricks, that's like the minimum, You can go above that, as I'm doing right now. I have 47 out of 35 tricks. I don't know if my math is correct. I think that's enough. 50 out of 35. I think that might be enough. So yeah, it's a fun mission. You might have noticed my boost meter got insanely long there. Because when you do tricks, it actually extends your boost meter. Like, when you get rings or destroy enemies, your boost meter can only go so far. But when you do tricks, it can actually extend your boost meter, as it did right there. There is no limit to how much boost energy you can get to from tricks and everything. You're finally here, Sonic. I have that damn fourth Chaos Emerald, and you won't take it from me. I think my Shadow voice has gotten a lot better over the years, but yeah, here we go. This is, like, probably the best boss fight in the game, to be honest. There it is! They hit the pose! They did the thing! But yeah, this is a race against Shadow. You might be like, a race? Well, that's lame. No, bear with me for a second. You see, it's a race to get your super moves. You see that pink orb up there? And you see those little meters next to Sonic and Shadow's names in the top left and right corners of the screen? If whoever gets 2 of those pink orbs first can activate a supercharged ultra special attack. And of course, I didn't even give Shadow a chance to use his. Basically, Shadow's like super move is he'll throw a bunch of Chaos Spheres onto the track that you need to quick step around, and then he throws a giant like purple Chaos Spear at you that you just need to sidestep. And Sonic's special ability is this pink boost you're seeing right now. Basically, you have to run into these meteors to launch them at Shadow. Because when you do that, they don't hurt him technically, he doesn't drop rings, but they do make him stumble. And, you know, they slow him down so that you can ram into him from the back and very quickly drain all of his rings. That was kind of an easy fight, but the thing is, this game actually has hard mode variations for every boss in the game. So if you want to play, you know, like the boss fight against Shadow in hard mode, give me that damn fourth Chaos Emerald, Shadow. Wait a second, I'm Shadow. I'm getting confused now. But yeah, and I'm going back into City Escape to get that damn 5th red star ring. That didn't really roll off the tongue the way I wanted it to. But, yeah, I just went back to City Escape to get that last red ring. But yeah, the boss fight against Shadow, that was really cool. And speaking of boss fights, we got one more left, chat. The boss fight here is a rather interesting one, because this is like probably the biggest twist to a boss fight in this game. Actually, all 3 of the main boss fights in this game have like cool twists. Wait a second, Perfect Chaos? Wait, I only have 4 Chaos Emeralds. Wait, no, I only have 3 Chaos Emeralds. How am I supposed to fight Perfect Chaos? That's the twist to this fight, baby. So for this particular fight, let me explain for a second. If you remember in Sonic Adventure, the original version of this fight, you needed all 7 Chaos Emeralds to fight Perfect Chaos, so that you could go super and fly across the water. Well, Sonic has the boost now, and with the boost comes the ability to run on water the same way he did in Sonic Adventure. So that's what you do here. You use the boost to run across water instead of, you know, your super form. And it is interesting because the boost does have that same kind of like blue energy shield aura thing that Super Sonic could get when he hit top speed in Sonic Adventure. So this is a really cool way to handle this fight. Like, Sonic still has, like, you know, the boost / bolt of lightning thing, and of course you need to get rings to keep your boost going. Just like how in the original Sonic Adventure version of this fight, you needed to collect rings to stay in your super form. So this is a really cool way to handle this fight. Because yeah, if you run out of boost energy, you will likely sink into the water and die. But this is the other twist to this fight. This was not in the original Sonic Adventure. This platforming section. Like, in the original Sonic Adventure, you do what I did for the first 3 hits, like, you know, running slash flying up to Perfect Chaos, going up his body and hitting his brain. You know, you do that 3 times in this version, and then, you know, what I just did just now for the 4th and final hit. But in the original version of this fight, you just fly up to him, go up his body, hit him in the brain 6 times, and the fight ends. I'm not joking. That was like the original fight was way simpler.
You've brought back quite a bit of this world.
Like, despite the fact that it was a supersonic fight, even like the obstacles were, you know, simpler. Like, this is a much harder version of Perfect Chaos from Sonic Adventure.
You mean you're doing great, Sonics? Right. I may never get used to that.
Oh, and the other thing is, since you're not supersonic this time, Perfect Chaos can actually hurt you. Like, he can make you drop rings when he hits you, rather than just knocking you back and mildly inconveniencing you. So that's the other thing.
That monster sure didn't like that emerald. Those things have come in handy in the past. We've already got a couple, but we need that emerald. Sonic, you should go over there and check it out. I bet you can bring that Chaos Emerald back just like you brought back our friends.
How did the Chaos Emerald even end up like that anyways? How did the Chaos Emerald end up in Limbo? And also, why is it just the one emerald in Limbo and not all of them, you know?
An adventure's no fun if it's too easy.
So before I sign off, I am curious about one thing concerning Shadow Generations. I wonder how they're going to handle the Sonic versus Shadow fight. Like, I wonder if that's going to be an unwinnable fight because of what happens in this game, since you're playing as Shadow and you're fighting Sonic, and, you know, Sonic canonically wins that fight. So I wonder if it's going to be an unwinnable fight, or if they're going to make you fight like a copy of Sonic or something. I don't know, it's really interesting, but I completely lost my train of thought there, but yeah. They have said that the Shadow campaign will cross over with the main one, so we can expect Sonic and Shadow to fight each other in Shadow Generations, and that'll probably be the main thing that crosses the 2 stories over. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this part. If you did, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, all that stuff. Cheesy YouTuber outro, and, you know, it's your boy signing off. Peace. Take care, everyone.